Hello everyone, welcome back. Keeping with my recent interest in the naval aircraft, I'm going to do another Hobbyboss kit. This is the Corsair, the F4U-4B variant, 146 scale, again from Hobbyboss. Just to go over quickly what's in the box and how things come packaged here. So similar to the the Avenger that I did recently, you got some nice little painted, illustrated box art here. This one is by that artist that you see there. And then on one side you got both sides of the aircraft pictured. You got a little bit of information about the aircraft. Side same artwork. This is the kit number 8388. On the other side is the other marking that comes in this kit. All right. So typical of the Hobbyboss cart, this is a pretty good, nice, good, solid boxing here. Actually, also to point out, this box is also a little bit bigger than the typical Hasegawa, the typical Tamiya one. This is the Tamiya Corsair, and you can see that the Hobbyboss kit is considerably bigger as well. And that mainly comes down to the way that they packaged it. Just open it up, so you can see. Alright, so whereas everything on the Tamiya kit comes all in packed up in one section, here they have most of the screws in this larger section here off to the side. You have separately bagged, I believe, are the clear sprue, and you have the cowling. So these parts are here all separated and nicely protected off to one side. Versus your typical boxing like from the Tamiya they just showed you. Alright, so quickly I'm just going to show you how it comes packed, and then I'll open up the bags and show you close-ups of the sprues themselves. And pardon my voice, I'm coming over a cold, so my voice is a little hoarse, so apologies for that. So you have your instruction booklet, you have your color cutout, so you got one. Second option, again as usual, nicely in color, which is very helpful. You got what's coming new, including the aircraft this kit is, typical Hobbyboss. And as mentioned before, this here you got the canopy, you got the cowling, you got a sprue here of some internal parts, mainly it looks like the engine parts, internal parts, all nicely packaged there. And again, some more small parts. You got the propeller here, and again some other engine parts, all nicely protected in there. And you have the fuselage, the two halves. You got the main wing root, two halves. You got the main wings, the two halves. You have the drop tanks, two halves. And you have the flaps and other external control. And lastly, what you have here is the decals, all nicely packaged separately. Alright, so let me open these up and show you how the parts look. Alright, so first off, just in order in which we're in the box, I'm just going to show you what a close up of the content. So first, the instruction booklet, typical Hobbyboss. You got your black and white illustration, same as the cover. You got some informational stuff of what the little icons mean. Open it up. First thing you have here is your sprue map, which is good, and that's here numbered, so you can identify your parts as you're looking for them. You start off here with the cockpit. You build a little tub, you build up your engine. You see some of the details that the engine includes there. Then you go off to building the wings, the wing roots. You got the rear tail wheel, and you got two options here how to put it together. You got your wings here, the flaps. You have two options: wings up, wings down. And you got the rest of your fuselage, meeting the two fuselage halves together with the cockpit tub, the engine, and the internal details, sidewall details, and the tail wheel. And you got your horizontal stabilizers, your separate rudder there, putting the wings on, the cowling on. And then you go off to build up the wings. Now this has, you can, there are other kits of Hobbyboss, other Corsairs which have the guns. You have the guns to put in there. This kit does not, so you just seal up the holes there for the wings. Put the wings together. You got the canopy on. You got the wheels on. The resting hook on, and then finally you got your fuel tanks and put on your propeller. So that's it for the instructions. And just a little close up here of the painting guide. The main one being the one that's on the cover here, which is this one from 1953. It's all blue, all navy blue. And the other one's also all navy blue from 1952. And here at the bottom, typical, they got the color callouts here. Alright, let's see. And then just getting into the parts. Alright. So first part here, all nicely. I'm going to take these off. One thing I can say about Hobbyboss, they really do pack their kits very well, and they were real protected in transport. So you can be pretty sure you won't have any loose parts or broken pieces when they get to you. You just gotta be careful once you take them out of the bags. All right, so here, let me just zoom here for you guys. You can take a look closer at the parts. So here you can see the engine details here, the radials. Here you got some of the engine exhaust or the engine piping there. Other little really small pieces there. You can see. You got the wheels. You can take a look at the wheel details in there. You got a little bulkhead details there. You got the landing gear. I'll show you the other side real quickly. Alright, so that's one sprue. Stick it off to the side. Next sprue just contains the propellers, the propeller, singular. Okay. Here you can take a look at the propeller details. See that up there, more engine parts here. You got the side console there. Let me turn this around, you can see a little better. Here you can see the details close up. Here's your instrument panel. Again, you can take a nice little close-up look at that. Alright, so nice, really good details there. And you got your fuselage halves. And again, just show you real quickly the details there. You got the riveting there. If it focuses correctly. And then on the inside, you got some ribbon detail there for the tail wheel, and the rest of the inside here, that additional parts that you put on. You got your wings here, and two halves, the wheel wells, and the ribbing details in there. Again, I'll just show you a bit close up here of the details contained. See? Focus. There you go. Alright, you can see the nice little riveting details on that. And we got the other half of the wings here. So here's close up at the top. These are the openings I mentioned for the gun. That in other versions of this kit, they have the guns, you can display them. This does not, so you would seal them in. Or you can get probably some aftermarket or maybe scratch build your own and put something in there and leave them open. And here's the bottom of the wings. You see the ejection chute for the cannons. Here's your drop tanks, two of them. And it has little details here for the fuel line, looks like. The pylons for it. It's very nice. And the last big sprue, this one here. Let me just take this off. And again, they do very well, great packaging here. So here are your flaps, here's your tail, vertical tail, or horizontal tails. Halves, no, it's a vertical tail. And your horizontal tails and flaps. And you can see the, turn this around for you. You can see the ribbing detail there and there. And you got the, I believe those are the gear doors, or the gear doors, and some really thin plastic there. You can see that next to my finger there. Last few pieces, you got your cowling. So here's your cowling flaps. There's the cowling itself. Cowling flaps molded in the open position. And then you got your clear canopy here. Again, everything is very well protected, so nothing gets damaged. And I think you can see, let me get something here. Pardon me for a second. Yeah, instructions, as you can see, the clarity of the parts. I think you can agree that they are very clear. So you can see how transparent they are. So those are very nice. And the last part that's here, they have to show you, are the decals. Again, they come in a sealed plastic bag, and they got their wax paper over it, which is taped on. You don't lose it. And here are the decals. You know, most of it, since the plane is all navy blue, most of the decals are white. All right. So I used to show you some close-ups there, the dots. As decals for the instrument panels, which I guess you could use, or you can just paint them on. I mean, these look kind of toyish, so I think probably painting them on, doing a little dry brushing probably be better than using these as is. But otherwise, the rest of the decals should be fine. I mean, typically I've not had any problems with Hobbyboss decals, so it should be great. Anyway, so that's what's in the box. So stay tuned for the build of this kit. All right, thank you all for watching. Take care. Hello and welcome back to the first build of the first update for the build. I got here the cockpit and the first couple of steps, the cockpit and the parts of the engine here constructed. I'm getting ready for painting. So here's the cockpit. I got them with some of that poster tack here on this stick here. So this is stuff that I'm going to be painting here in green, in the interior green, just to give you here a look at those pieces all together. I must say that so far all the fit here is pretty good. Just a little bit of sanding here and there for some injection pen marks, or just a little bit of flash here and there. Here is the instrument panel inside consoles, which they'll be painted in black. You see all the nice details there. Here are the parts of the engine. I got most of the parts, some of the parts here on the stick. The front, the rear row. I left these exhaust pipes here on the sprue itself, just because they're kind of delicate and just make it easier for me to paint them up. Then I'll take them off and do any retouching if necessary. This goes in the rear, so I'm not sure how much of that you're gonna see. You got the front crankcase there. Same thing here with these other parts. So these little small delicate parts, just left them on the sprue. I'll paint them separately. And just give me 1 second and I'll show you the rest of the build. Okay, so here we have the wings and the flaps, and some of these pieces I just have them right now just a dry fit to see how they fit. So you can see, probably going to go here with the wing fold. It's not glued on yet. Unlike the Avenger kit, there is some details here, so I think I will go with the wings folded up. If not, if you want to do the wings fold down, I mean the fit is pretty good. If you can take a look here, you know, there's another reinforcing thing that comes in there that you can put on. So just to show you the fit on this, is pretty good if you decide to do it with the wings down. You can see I got the flaps here temporarily here in place. On this wing I already started putting the little tabs here, the guns, and I did my sanding of the edges here. I still need to do a little bit of touch-ups here and there. You can see just a little bit of a gap there. Also just a little hair gap where the panels for the wing guns cannons are, since you put these pieces on. Just a word of advice for these pieces that go here to cover up the holes here. Put them on before you put the two halves on. It'll probably be easier. This way you don't have pieces, these small pieces falling in there, and you have to shake them out. Now for the finishing of these edges here, what I started using are these sticks from Flory Models. These skinny sticks. This is the sponge. This is a medium, specifically these two. I started using this for for this build. And I must say, I really do enjoy them. They make the job a whole lot easier to do. So far, like them and would recommend them. All right. You can see I got the flaps. The way I cut these, I left a little bit of the sprue tab on them, and then I just came back after glue the halves. Just carefully trim these down slowly until there's not too much left. So I don't want to nick the plastic. Then I came back here with the medium stick and just gently rolling it over to get some of the higher points off. And once that was done, I just used the medium stick sponge here. Basically very spongy. It goes around the curvature and does a great job of finishing off these seams here. So those are that. So again, these sticks by F4U models. Highly recommend them. Now here we have the fuselage. This is a dry fitting. The fit looks to be going to be pretty good. There's a panel that goes here, which I already put on to make it easier. You can see on both halves. Have the interiors on. Again, getting ready then for painting. And then you have the rear assembly here. We have the rear wheel and this other part here. They're a little fiddly to put together. That's here, these pieces here for the wheel well. I mean for the rear wheel. But you know, it comes together at the end. Excuse me, I still have this cold. I got the sniffles. Alright. So you can see how it all goes together. It took me about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes to pull this together and assemble it so it's there in the right spot. Alright. And that's basically where I am. So I'm just getting ready to do the initial painting. I'll be painting my interior parts green, the engine. The wings assembly, I'm just gonna finish that, making sure that all the seams are all nice, but that will be painted later when I do the exterior of the aircraft. Alright, so stay tuned. I'll be back with another update in a few. Thank you.